I'm Gideon Neethling. I'm the company engineer at Golden Arrow in Cape Town.
Please tell us about this great big green venture that you are embarking on.
Yeah, we're an old company, 164 years old, and we run a fleet of 1,200 vehicles. And we've purchased 120 electric buses, first 20 on the road, and we want 120 on the road by December 2025.
So was this a commercial decision?
In South Africa, it must be a commercial decision because nobody sponsors you to go green. So you start off, yep, it's a commercial decision. It's a long-term one. We believe if you've got less than a 10-year project plan, you should not go this route. So if it's 10 years plus, it makes commercial sense. Then you say yes, and once you've said yes, you go as green as possible because green as a rule is less expensive and you get all the other benefits of green for the environment.
So how much more expensive is an electric bus compared to the old-fashioned one?
Really, rough figures, about double.
And how possible is it to get finance for that?
Finance is a challenge because we often hear about green finance, and then if the definition of green finance is that finance that's less expensive because it's a renewal project, then we yet to find green finance. So we go to commercial banks, and commercial banks, because it's such a big figure, it's the same as your previous finance or maybe slightly higher.
What kind of relationship do you have with the city of Cape Town and with Eskom? Because you're going to need a lot more electricity now in this new model.
In our first project, where we're charging the buses, it's a City of Cape Town supply depot. So we work really closely with the City of Cape Town on supply of electricity, plus with buses with the My City operation. Then additional to that, for the future, we've got a cooperation agreement with Eskom, where we see how can we work together, because we believe that this is a big project, and one of the big stumbling blocks that one will have is if you try to do it alone. So collaboration is an absolute must in this one. So for future charging stations, to jointly build them, we're busy with Eskom. It's in the initial phases. We haven't built any, but there's big plans for the future.
How unique is this project in terms of South Africa?
In South Africa, there's a handful, maybe a bit more than a handful of buses on the road at other companies, mostly probably on the testing side. So I think I'm relatively safe if I say it's the only commercial, reasonable sized commercial operation in South Africa for electric buses.
And now for the big test, what do the drivers and the passengers say of these new buses, and what's the experience of being in an electric bus?
When the drivers start, they're nervous, but we've got a training school, so we train 250 to 300 drivers every year anyway. So we've got one electric bus that's part of that training, so we train everybody. Then when they start on the electric buses, there's some retraining being done, and you have to change your driving style, because with an electric vehicle, there's a phrase called one pedal driving. If you take your foot off the pedal, it puts the process in reverse, and you actually put a bit of electricity back into the battery. So you need to change the driver's style of driving, and then once they get used to it, they're nervous when they start, of course, but once they get used to it, they really enjoy it. But the passengers, they absolutely love it. And anecdotally, we hear that if there's two buses that a passenger can pick out of, they'll go for the electric bus.
How do you see this going forward?
For us, we buy 60 buses a year since the year 2000. So we now bought 120, which is double our normal purchases. So this year it's the chaos to get them all on the road, get the infrastructure sorted. 2026, it's to stabilize everything. So mid-2026, it's big decision time. What's our next purchase is going to be? If I get my way, I believe or I want it to be electric, but we'll have all the data of probably close to 6 million kilometers of data to really make the right decision, and then we'll know whether it's diesel or electric.
What kind of board do you need to go along with such a big investment, such a big new path in a way for a company?
No, we are seriously spoiled because the board support the senior management. They're a tough lot. So you have to go in with all the data, show that it's a commercial decision, and then they supported us. And as this project is more than double the most we've ever spent on any project in the past. So you need a seriously supportive board, but you need a board that will keep you on your toes to make sure that you've done the work to justify the project.